matter, please press 4. If you'd like to leave me a message telling me your thoughts about an issue, please press 5. For all other matters, just stay on the line and your call will be answered shortly. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day. Wait while I transfer your call.
I wrote a letter to the uh, Board of Judiciary Standards, and they haven't acknowledged that I've written them, and it's been 3 weeks. And I've handwritten letters to the DA, and it's been years, and I haven't had a response, even after calling their office requesting a response to confirm that they got my correspondence. So, what is going on that we don't have a operable representative system that replies when residents make complaints? Why is there no options on your menu that have to do with addressing grievances about the corrupt activities of the government caucus of North Carolina and the internal municipalities? Okay, that's 2 questions, but I want what I'm calling for right now. That's actually 3 questions, but what I'm calling for right now is I want to know why the Judiciary Standards Committee hadn't acknowledged that they've received my correspondence, so I know that I'm getting the due diligence from the caucus of government I'm supposed to have. I'm absolutely fed up with being sent to another division. Oh, that's not our jurisdiction. That's not our jurisdiction. We don't have any defense against the caucus of corrupt government employees that traffic drugs and traffic children through the judiciary system of this community. Where is my response? I'm sorry, but I'm unloading. I want to be very clear for everybody concerned, everybody witnessing this video I'm making. Why am I not getting a response when I have filed a complaint with the Judiciary Standards Committee? This is unacceptable. There, I'm sorry. I just had to say that. Hold on a minute. One more thing I have to say. I've been censored and bullied and terrorized to where I'm not even allowed to go to voice my opinion at public committee meetings. The superintendents banned me from the property because I said it's not right for you to take children out of the classroom, put them in a room with the counselor, for the counselor to harass them for 4 months consistently. Then, when you got the demeanor of the child down, you use your dope dealing narcs that you employ in the Department of Social Services to write fake petitions to abduct the child. You know, all this shit is true, 100% true. They use the judiciary to deal drugs to the college kids without any repercussions for the drug dealers. They go out here, oh, we got in trouble and we just have to snitch and we don't get in trouble. I'm 45 years old plus. I'm absolutely tired. It's unsustainable anymore. There's no lawful repercussions for their actions. There's no lawful. All these administrations are not doing what they're supposed to do. Every officer of the United States has an obligation to be sure that every citizen has a defense against infringements on their liberty, their ability to make a living, and their everything, their freedom, everything. We can't do anything we're supposed to be able to do. And here it is the week before Christmas. And because I have an inactive judiciary system, as well as a representative system and a law enforcement system, we're making this phone call. So there we go. That kind of summarizes where I'm at.
Right. Well,
I mean, as a homeowner, I'm not here paying taxes to be terrorized. You understand? I'm here to be secure in my personal possessions. If somebody steals something, I can report it, and if they find the merchandise, they can prosecute the thief. If somebody assaults somebody, they're supposed to get prosecuted and put in jail, not get a that a boy on the back and released into the public by the judge. The judge confirmed that I had been assaulted, and all she cared about was that the perpetrator had to pay the attorney, and he didn't get no repercussions. And the reason why he didn't get repercussions is because he was cooperating, dealing drugs, and trapping people in prior instances in this community. I don't know if you guys record conversations or phone calls into your office, but I demand you do. Now, do you have anybody in mind to reference me to? Because I'm so upset. You don't understand. I've been a property owner, homeowner for 10 years. And ever since I became a property owner, I've had this burden of property taxes. And I've been like, well, if I'm going to pay property taxes, I'm going to tell them what I want them to provide. I said, I want a bus system that comes out to my place. It doesn't have to come out every 30 minutes or hour. It can come out every 2 hours. It should go from every fire department to fire department, and in which every fire department should be facilitated by a deputy response and a paramedic response, and of course the equipment. Not what they got, farming out all these amenities, forcing the property owners to pay for the luxuries that brings the tourist into the community, the safety and security. You know, it's a bunch of garbage. And then after I didn't like that. And then my child turns 4, and I start taking him so I can go to do some work. And they tried to abduct him multiple times in this last decade. And, I don't give, this is not what this world's supposed to be. We're not supposed to have a caucus of government that causes more trouble and trauma to the people who pay their salaries than they prevent. I don't have a vehicle. My vehicle, I had to be a respondent multiple times over the last decades for 8 months on end, never ceasing from these government employees that think that they can kidnap a child out of the elementary school after the parent drops them off and force the parent to spend all the allocated funds of the child's family to responding to their demands for 8 months or better. If I hadn't have been a 46-year-old or a 40-year-old, if I hadn't have been an older gentleman, they would have successfully abducted my child with this scam that they're running here in Watauga County. You understand it's part of the state as well, and it's part of all 3 of these branches, the judiciary, the executive, and the administrative. All of them need to go. They need to go. Everybody needs to just resign. Everybody from A to B in the state of North Carolina and the county of Watauga County that works in any government capacity needs to resign. Don't worry about filling your seats. You weren't necessary to begin with. That's where I'm at right now. I don't have a vehicle because the last 2 vehicles I had, I wore into the ground responding to their terroristic demands to reunite my family. You understand? They didn't have any true due diligence done before they enacted all these actions on me. There's not one branch of government doing what they're paid to do, and that is to defend my constitutional my rights with my property. And the same thing with kidnapping a kid. I've not figured out how to say that yet, but as far as the kid was concerned, it was against his will, so that is kidnapping. And they don't even give and allocate the rights to the children. They've already took away all the rights of every child under the age of what? You shouldn't have a right. The children should have rights. Huh? No, I've been on hold for 3 weeks. I want you to transfer me to the right person to take care of this. I'm not repeating myself. pause this on a better system.
Very happy holidays.
It would have been if people would leave people alone and stop being terrorists.
North Carolina Administrative Office of the Courts. For information concerning lifelong or other service alerts, press 1. If you received a call requesting personal or financial information, press 2. If you are a citizen calling about a court-related matter, such as court dates, payment of traffic tickets, criminal records, or court forms, press 3. If you are a court employee or need to speak with the Judicial Business Office, press 4. We are located at 901
Cool.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
They want to be so inactive that they.
Administrative Office of the Courts serves the employees of the North Carolina court system. Press 1 for a dial by name directory of employees.
I'm not looking to be served by the.
Press 2 for a directory of offices and divisions of the Administrative Office of the Courts. Press 9 to repeat. Press 0 for all other inquiries. After the selection. Administrative Office of the Courts, good morning.
Well, I wish it was. So I wrote a complaint. This has been about 3 weeks ago regarding a judge to the Judiciary Standards Committee.
Okay.
And they haven't even sent me a cover letter to acknowledge that they received the complaint. And it's been 3 weeks or better.
And that was the Judicial Standards Commission? Is that what you stated?
Yeah. I've also I wrote my DEA a letter, and that's been 2 years ago, and they haven't replied.
Okay.
So wait a minute.
Okay.
Is that standard business?
So I'm not sure.
Is that the business of the people not to reply to people corresponding with them?
I'm not.
Well, that's the question. Do you have somebody that could that has oversight? I mean, I assume the top tier person in your office.
Okay. Did you need the phone number for the Judicial Standards area?
Do they have that? Do they have that? That's fine. What is the phone number?
Okay, so can you hold on a moment?
I guess
Okay, thank you.
they don't have a phone number. They don't have a phone number, I believe. Just to be politically correct with that statement. Not that I could find after looking over the book. Yes, ma'am.
The number I have is 919.
Yes, ma'am.
831
3630, and that is the Judicial Standards
Commission. Yes, sir.
Commission. All right, thank you. I'll try to.
Yes, sir. Have a great rest of your day. Calling the North Carolina Administrative Office of the Courts. For information concerning LifeLock or other service alerts,
I think I just called this number.
if you received a call requesting personal or financial information, press 2. Thank you for calling the North Carolina Administrative Office of the Court.
Oh, I did just dial that number. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a little flustered, as I am most of the time when I'm clawing to try to stay afloat. Well, that's where they like to keep us. They don't like to keep us out here being productive. They like us. Don't like to let us have prosperity free from their intervention.
You have reached the office of the North Carolina Judicial Standards Commission. We're currently unavailable at this time, but if you leave your name, your number, and a brief message, we'll get that with you as soon as possible. Thank you. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
My name is David Grigg. I called you, and you can call me at that number because I submitted a complaint to on a judiciary action that seems to be very insulting to me. But I'm not going to go into it. But the point of this phone call is it's been 3 weeks since I submitted this complaint, and nobody has replied to me to say, we have received your complaint. They didn't have to do everything to it, but they need to acknowledge that I'm talking to somebody. Okay, again, my phone number is 828-964. With you having all my information right there, I submitted a digital grievance about the actions of the dope dealing narcs that assaulted me in Watauga County, North Carolina. And it was just the tip of the iceberg of all the inflictions that I've suffered at the hands of this terroristic group of government employees. And I want to know, I'm calling you right now because I'm trying to find out why you're not replying. I wrote a letter to the DA regarding the same issue of Rebecca, what is her name, Eggers, and he never replied. I asked him to prosecute her for aiding and abetting assault and battery because that's what the judge did when she let the narc hit me, and then she acknowledged that he did it, and then she just let him go without any kind of repercussions, because if they give him repercussions, that would have triggered his parole and all that stuff, and he's already been cooperating and working with them and stuff. So I understand how come it didn't happen, and I'm following up with it because I think it should have happened. And the whole point of me taking papers out on the guy is because he hit me, and you know, I'm living here in Watauga County, North Carolina. I've made a video about me calling you, and it's quite substantial, and I'm going to post it, and you can review it at your luxury. But the whole story's in that video, and I've been a homeowner for 10 years, and I've suffered so much terrorism coming out of the caucus of government, led by the judiciary and the uh, administrative pools of this area. As I've observed it, they're trying to systematically traffic children through the bureaucracies of the government of Watauga County, North Carolina, state of North Carolina, and they harass and terrorize parents systematically, non-stop, to the point to where we can't even afford to keep vehicles under our butts because we spent so much of the child's family's money on being a respondent to this terroristic judiciary system that I do not support. And I wish to hear your either a reply, and I don't know why you wouldn't reply to somebody submitting a complaint other than you must have resigned from your position, and that would probably be the most prudent thing for every single government employee in this nation to do. We don't need to worry about replacing you. We'll do that later. Just as soon as you go home, 99% of the problem will be solved. That's every representative elected in every capacity of this nation. They're they're a choice between a turd and a turd sandwich. You know, it's not suitable, and it's quite contrary to our domestic tranquility and pursuit of personal happiness and security in our personal possessions. From the taxation to the authoritarian terrorism group that has taken over law enforcement and the schools and the medical industries. You all need to go, please. In closing, please reply to me and let me know why you haven't responded in a timely fashion.
The maximum length for a recording. Finish your recording.
I'm done. I shouldn't have to make this phone call. I shouldn't have to pay these motherfucking salaries for them to fucking terrorize us. And this is my social media, ladies and gentlemen. I may cuss. You cuss too. if they won't leave you alone. And even if they're leaving you alone, you're too traumatized from their actions, not mistakenly, but their direct actions, to just go about your business. I will not have my community run over by these narcs, dope dealers. I got a 13-year-old kid. He'll be 13 in just a couple months. He's not going to go to these public schools for these little bitches, these little teachers' pets, to peddle drugs to him and then, or his friends, and then bust them for it to start their life in prison. I've seen it done. The repercussions of one little snitch bitch that gets special privilege for their ill-gotten, for what they do, it has repercussions on the rest of the community. If the dude that's the snitch bitch gets in trouble and he can get out of it by ratting on people, and he does good with some girls that they got to damn help him along, he's going to attract other innocent, undeveloped youths into that circle. And then you, this filthy fucking government judiciary, are going to entrap that youth that hadn't even fully developed before the age of 25 into this fucking prison life. I'm 45. I'm not going to let it happen anymore. 2022, please resign so we can fill the void. It'd be easier if you resigned. It would save on materials and emission. You get it.